There have been way too many instances of corruption in the army in quick succession, which lead me to my face-off question of the day. Has corruption in the Indian army become a widespread malaise? Joining us on the show this evening, former Chief of the Indian Army Staff, General V.P. Malik, is with us from Mumbai. The anguish on his face is apparent. With me in the studio, one of the country's leading defense analysts, Manoj Joshi, Colonel Ajay Shukla. He served in the army, seen things from within, and now from the outside, as a defense writer, will comment on this sting operation. Gaurav Sawant has been working with the team of reporters who've put this story together, our associate editor. Colonel Shukla, I come to you first. This is hugely disconcerting. It breaks my heart as I see these colonels wearing the olive green uniform, which so many generations of officers have worn with so much pride, and accepting 6,000, 8,000 rupees. That's the amount they're selling this nation's honor for.
Well, let's just leave aside the moment of, for the moment, the amount of money involved, selling of honor and so on. Just look at the larger issue of how does the Indian army interface with society in general. Look around you. Look at the political class. Look at the media. There are declining standards everywhere. There's corruption happening everywhere. And there was a day and age when you could systematically isolate the army from society in general. There was no television in earlier times, their barracks were separate, the army was not being used for counterinsurgency and aid to civil authority tasks. You could keep them isolated. Today the army is a slice of society. Your society trends in general are going to be reflected in the army. The best you can hope for is that the army puts in place systems that actually checks stuff like this, that cracks down very quickly on the guilty, and that punishes them to deter any further thing. But the army, in the bottom line, it's a slice of society.
General Malik, for all these decades, the army has always been held to a higher standard. It's always been the beacon of integrity in this country, the one institution that's never been corruptible. Now, so often, we're seeing these very disconcerting incidents of officers accepting money. Colonel Shukla is saying that the declining standards in every aspect of our society, and the army is only a slice of society. Does that mean that standards in the army are coming down as well, and there's absolutely nothing that can be done about this, sir?
Look, I tend to agree with Ajay Shukla, and I really cannot say whether we've got greater corruption or lesser corruption. But the fact is that every time any such incident takes place, it is a chink in the armor. And when it is exposed on televisions like you are doing, and I can't blame you for this, then it has a very serious impact on the army's morale, discipline, the whole value system. It gets affected. And therefore, the fact is that when such incidents are taking place, whenever they happen and when they are exposed on the television, it affects our image, it affects our morale, it affects our whole value system. So we cannot generalize ourselves, we cannot say that we are part of the society. The fact is that unless we maintain our value system and ethos, we cannot have camaraderie, we cannot fight along with each other in a war. So if we have to be that kind of an institution, then every such incident, if it takes place, is a chink in our armor.